No, this is not its funeral. Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to talk about the special but not so perfect Samsung Galaxy Note 20 Ultra. What's up everybody, this is VJ from TechImaginist. I've been holding off doing this review for a while now because I wanted to use the phone for some time and give a more long-term opinion. The first thing you'd notice about the Note 20 Ultra is its build quality. Everything about the Note 20 Ultra just speaks premium. Though the device is huge, and trust me, it is huge, pushing a 6.9-inch Super AMOLED screen with minimum bezels, sleek aluminum frame, it actually feels quite very comfortable in the hand. The slim package is only interrupted by the huge, handsome camera bump. The camera bump is actually narrower but bigger than the S20 Ultra, which I would have been able to show you if I hadn't, sold it to buy this one. Oh, and that brings us to the hefty price tag on this one, $1,300 at launch. So, is it worth it? Let's take a look at everything that the phone offers, so keep watching and hit like if you think I deserve it. The Note is a one-of-a-kind device. Always has been. It's a segment of the market that nobody has been able to compete in. And the Note 20 Ultra is so far probably the best looking device in 2020. In my opinion, of course. There are some points that they could have improved, like a 5000 mAh battery and some better optimization of the software to make the battery last longer, a 90Hz option, or even 120Hz at Quad HD Plus resolution. Yeah, I know. It's not like that's gonna do much other than kill more battery, but when I'm paying $1,300, I want everything. The screen is beautiful nonetheless. Deep blacks, punchy colors, you name it. And that has always been Samsung's thing. Perfect for watching videos and enjoying media content. So, what we're all here for? The cameras. I think Samsung pulled all the stops for the Note 20 Ultra's camera, and the results are spectacular. We have the 108 megapixel main sensor from the S20 Ultra, but this time assisted with the laser autofocus. Oh yeah, we needed that. The 48 megapixel periscope telephoto camera on the S20 Ultra has been replaced with a 12 megapixel one with 5x optical zoom and a 50x hybrid zoom. So this time around Samsung gave up on the space zoom gimmick. But sadly, we can't shoot no moons no more. Then there's the 12 megapixel ultra-wide camera with a 120 degree field of view, which is a standard ultra-wide camera unlike other manufacturers. Google. So we already know that Samsung couldn't fix the autofocus issues on the S20 Ultra because of the sheer sensor size, but this time around they added the laser autofocus sensor to help the camera focus better. Where did that lead them? Well, the focus is laser sharp, to say the least. Now, let's go see what those cameras can do. This is generally my favorite time of the year, autumn in Saudi Arabia, with everything looking lush and green, flowers blooming and winter fast approaching. The picture quality of the Note 20 Ultra is generally great with good and natural color saturation. There is also a good amount of detail. One of the advantages of having such a big sensor is the natural depth of field that comes with it. In other words, the bokeh effect. This is usually achieved in mobile phone cameras with software in portrait mode. The Note manages it with good optics, and the background blends itself naturally with only the subject in focus when you're in close range, while just using the regular photo mode. So here's a quick side-by-side with the iPhone 11 Pro Max. I'm waiting for my iPhone 12 Pro Max to arrive to do a full comparison, so subscribe to my channel to watch that one. The photos from both phones look very similar here, but the Note 20 Ultra seems to do better with the overall detail near the rocks, and high dynamic range is on point with the different shades of the sky. In this shot, the color saturation is higher on the Note 20 Ultra, and I like the iPhone's shot better, but if you zoom in, you'd notice that there is far more resolved detail on the Note 20 Ultra than the iPhone 11 Pro Max. Here is a natural bokeh comparison, both phones in regular photo mode. The Note does a better job at keeping only the subject in focus while blurring the background completely, while the iPhone keeps some of the flowers in focus and also the poles in the back are in semi-focus. However, this advantage is only due to the sensor size on the Note 20 Ultra. Before I go on, let me tell you that the large sensor size is not always sunshine and rainbows. The bigger the sensor and the smaller the lens, since we are on a smartphone, the narrower is the area of focus and bigger the bokeh. This means on most close-up shots, the camera has a small area of focus and it blurs out the remaining things as background. Now this might look good in portraits and does not bother you when you're shooting landscapes. But maybe taking a close-up picture of an object, text, or a device in your hand, for example, causes it to blur out what's outside this small area of focus. So at times, half your image is blurred. Now this is again just physics and how optics work, not something wrong with the device, but it can be a nuisance when you're trying to take a quick photo of text or a close-up of an object. A future fix would be Samsung including a macro lens that prevents this from happening. Having an ultra-wide lens is always a plus, and I use it more often than a telephoto. This of course means that there will be a fisheye effect, but that is the very property of an ultra-wide. Haha, physics! And the 120-degree field of view on the Note 20 Ultra gets some interesting shots, especially when you have your back against the wall and want to get a wider view. Okay, not in that sense. So the third one of the combo is the telephoto lens. We have what Samsung calls a periscope telephoto with 5x optical zoom and the 50x hybrid zoom, or let's say not space zoom. The quality on the telephoto is not as good as the main sensor. Some amount of noise creeps in, especially at night or in low light. I don't have much to say about the 50x hybrid zoom unless you're shooting something that far off, and it won't do much except for letting you creep on someone and producing some pixelated images. Like legendary photographer Ernst Haas said, "The best zoom are your legs." Wisdom. The low light performance of the main camera is quite good, with good amount of resolved detail and not much of the usual yellowish tint that creeps in with Samsung cameras. There is of course some amount of noise in more darker situations like this one, but images are still clear. However, low light video suffers from some artifacts in some scenarios, especially at the corners of the video. Selfies are good, ignore my COVID time face, but there's still some good detail in the photos. I wish it was wider, but it is what it is. Let's move on to video performance. The Note 20 Ultra shoots 8K video like the S20 Ultra and the S20 Plus, and it is a solid performer. But most of the zoom controls are only available in 4K or 1080p. Video is stable and minor shakes do not disturb the video footage. The shallow depth of field naturally appears in videos when shooting in close range of the subject, and autofocus is tack sharp. The audio recording on video is pretty good too. Here's me recording a clip in the car with music turned on. The S Pen has also returned this year with a faster 9 millisecond response rate, and combined with the 120Hz screen refresh rate, delivers one of the best writing experiences. So, down to the only complaint I have about the Note 20 Ultra. It's battery life. Nope, don't write it off yet. It's just handling a lot, The 120Hz 6.9-inch screen and 5G, which is a major battery killer. Initially, when I bought the Note, it used to die on me at the end of a 10-hour day with moderate usage, sometimes reaching home after work at 6 p.m. with only 10% left. I'm glad to tell you that it has since improved with software updates, and I can push about 16-hour days now with moderate usage and about 5.5 to 6 hours of screen on time. But I believe Samsung is yet to optimize its software for battery life. With a 4500 mAh battery that drains fast, power users might not be satisfied with this Note, especially if they are using 5G. At the end of it, is it worth the price tag? Well, it mostly is. But personally, I'm of the opinion that phones in general should not cost more than $1,000. There are a lot of good phones out there for cheaper. The OnePlus 8 Pro being one of them, with maybe a bit lesser of a camera experience, but an excellent phone for that price. The Note's own next of kin, S20 Plus, is also a solid performer. But if you want the absolute best of Android, a top-end niche device, in the words of Flossie Carter, the Note 20 Ultra is a major go. That's been it, guys. Do consider subscribing to my channel for more videos like this one. And as always, thank you so much for watching.